So anyways, that local suspension doesn't necessarily even have to be followed by other organizations. The more common reason that we see is that a security clearance is suspended or revoked in some cases pending an appeal. Typically what we see for federal employees is there's some sort of security concern that happens. Maybe somebody popped positive on a drug test, or they failed to report foreign travel, it could be criminal related. They were arrested, or they had, a DUI or something like that. And that triggers a security concern, which, whether they properly report it or not, anything that is a security concern, should be reported depending on the circumstances. Essentially, that would trigger some red flags or security concerns to the agency, and the agency would then take action to locally suspend the clearance. Now, when I say locally suspend, I mean that particular agency, that particular division of the agency, that particular command, if it's like Department of Navy or something like that. So whoever is the commander, or the person who runs that particular location, they have the power to locally suspend a security clearance pending a final review. So just because a commander or a local agency head or somebody like that takes action to locally suspend a clearance, that doesn't mean that's the final decision. In fact, they don't have the power to do that. Specifically talking about the Department of Defense, the final decision for security clearances rests with the Defense Counterintelligence and Security Agency, or if you end up going to an appeal process, the Personnel Security Appeals Board would have the final say if DCSA decides to revoke the clearance at that point. So anyways, that local suspension doesn't necessarily even have to be followed by other organizations. But for the most part, if there is a valid security concern, that would need to be investigated and then adjudicated. And then that would be the ascertainable end that I was talking about before.